Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Darzii, and I have another story for you guys. This is actually the second time I'm making this video because the first time I made it, my mic was fucking muted. The whole fucking video. But anyway, I'm re-recording it, so, let's start it. So this, I want to say, happened like 2 or 3 or even 4 years ago. I actually don't remember. It was during summer, dude. It was really hot. There was no snow. Imagine that, dude. Middle of summer, no snow in Canada? That's crazy. My igloo melted. I was homeless for like fucking months. It was horrible. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Some of you guys are gonna think I'm serious, dude. It's a joke. But anyway, I was with 2 more of my friends, and we decided to just, you know, chill outside, just do whatever. I had my skateboard, my other friend had his bike, and my other friend had his scooter. We're not gonna talk about it because you all know where that's gonna go. But anyway, we're just doing our stuff like in the middle of the road, just doing tricks and stuff. And I know this sounds kind of dumb, but like you have to understand that it was a pretty quiet road. And whenever we hear or see a car, one of us would tell the other, and we would just move out of the way, let the car pass, and then we would continue doing whatever. I live in a pretty small town, and the skate park in my town literally sucks ass. It's super small, it's fucking crowded to shit, and it smells like rotten cheese, dude. That's why we're in the middle of the road doing our thing instead of at the skate park. So we're just hanging out, you know, doing our stuff, and a car pulls over and she stops completely. Like, we got out of the way and everything, but this car stopped, right? And she slowly puts down her windows. She looks at my friend and she says, "You guys better get off the fucking road. You're really lucky I don't fucking run over you. You guys better move." So my friend's like, "Alright, like, I'm sorry. I didn't know this hurted you in any way, dude. We'll move." Like, I don't know what else we could say. And she's like, "Okay, bye." And she just left. Like, she came in from a different street and she left in a different street. I don't think she lived on that road, so. Anyway, we decided not to leave because we're little shits and literally it was like the only good quiet road. And a couple minutes later, dude, these 2 cops pull up on the street and we're like, "Oh shit, something happened. They're gonna think we're dealing drugs or fucking something." And they come up to us and they say, "We got a noise complaint from you guys." And I look at them and I say, "You probably have the wrong guys because we're not making that much noise. Like, we're just hanging out in the middle of the street. Like, we're not really doing anything." The cop looks at me and he says, "No, it's definitely you guys. She said there was 1 skateboard, 1 scooter, and 1 bike. It's definitely you guys." So I was kind of like, "All right, well, I mean, we can keep it down if you want. I don't really get what you want from us, but like, we'll keep it down if that's what you want." He's like, "Yeah, that'd be great. That's all we want, honestly. Didn't cause us any trouble. We didn't cause them any trouble. It was good. They just left." They actually stopped on like the street right next to the one we were on, so I think they just stopped by as like a checkup thing. It wasn't like a serious call or anything. So a couple more minutes pass and we're still on the same road. That's how bored we were. And a car stops, and it slowly stops in the middle of the road, and the lady inside the car slowly puts down her window, and it's the same fucking girl. Same lady, dude. She's like, "All right, you guys better get the fuck off the road. It's not funny anymore. You guys need to get out." And I look at her and I say, "You live here? Do you have like a friend here? Like, why do you keep coming on this road?" She looks at me, she says, "Well, it's none of your business." My friend looked at her and he said, "Well, it's none of my business, but I just kind of want to know, like, why do you want us off the road so badly? Because you're not going into any driveways and you're just passing the road." She looks at him and she says, "Well, just fuck off, okay?" And then she just drives away. Fast forward a couple more minutes and we're still on the road because, like I said, we're stubborn little shits and we just don't want to give up. We didn't think much of it, honestly. So who do we see coming on the road? We see the lady in her car with the 2 other cops that came before. The cops stepped out of their cars, they came up to us and they said, "All right, you guys need to leave this place. It's getting too loud or whatever. We've had too many noise complaints. Can you guys just please move streets? Like, it's not that hard." My friend looks at the cops, right? And he says, "You guys were on the other road. Did you guys even hear us?" And the cop kind of said, "Yeah, I know you guys aren't making that much noise, but you still need to leave. I know you guys aren't loud at all, but we got in a complaint and we just need to address the manner properly. So can you please just change the street?" We said, "Okay, you know, who wants to argue with a cop? Who the fuck knows where that's gonna go, dude? All right, we'll just leave. It's fine." The lady was kind of like laughing because I guess she finally won in her mind. So she went in her car and she just drove off. My friend goes up to the cops and he says, "You know we're not making noise and we're getting out of the way whenever there's someone in the way. Do we really have to move?" And the cop looks at my friend and he says, "Well, you do have to move, all right, but we know the complaint doesn't make any sense." He tells us straight up, he says, "That woman who called in the complaint twice is just some crazy woman who calls in a bunch of complaints all the time." He told us that, like, she calls for complaints literally at least once a week, and if they don't at least check what she complained about, then she gets really mad and she calls over and over again until they do. So they kind of just check it out, which is funny. So the cop said, "You know what, doesn't matter, it's fine. We don't even need to take your names, you guys are good." So yeah, that's pretty much what we did. Anyway, it was actually a pretty fun experience, dude. That lady was kind of crazy. She was actually crazy. I don't know if she actually had something, but she was actually fucking crazy. But thanks to her, I met my 2 new friends, Mark and James, the cops. I haven't talked to them in years, but it's cool. I know they're my homies. So yeah, I guess that's the end of the story. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, that's fucking awesome. You guys are fucking awesome. Let me know if you guys like these story videos. I could definitely make more if I think hard enough. I'm sure I could think of something that happened. But thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, stay dank.